All of you are well concerned with the fact that English is one among the most important languages in the world, and this is nowadays supposed as an internationally acknowledged and transnationally applicable language. Therefore, within the context of the country like India, this has been given the progressively increasing importance. That's exactly why it's one sort of obligation on the part of each and every learners and people, from academician to politician, to have the hold or the comment over the acquisition of this second language. And today I'm going to share with you some amazing facts about why there is the necessity and importance on the part of each and every academician, students, learners, teachers, and the people from different walk of life to have the hold over this language. So let's start, and one by one I will keep on making the discussion on different advantages you can have from this particular, or you can have on the basis of learning the English language. And the first advantage you can have after learning this global language includes the fact that English is highly necessary, especially within the context of the country like India, because historically that very country is characterized by the linguistic as well as the cultural enrichment. So once you remain in the desperate need for making the communication with the people of other states of our own country, sometimes you feel tough enough to communicate your ideas to them because the language you are using is not possibly intelligible and understandable easily to the people of the other state. That's exactly why we must have to learn this particular language so that we can communicate our ideas to the people of different states. And the second advantage you can have from learning writing and speaking in this particular language lies in the fact that the concerned language is stressed and taught as the second language in different academic institutions. A large number of countries in the world happens to put the primary emphasis upon this global language. This is because of its transnational applicability. It's not that you can make the use of this language learning specially to the special specifics of your country. By the time you are to necessarily come to different certain Western countries or any other significant countries of the world, it becomes highly necessary on the part of you to communicate or to make the interaction with the people of the Western world in this particular language, because this is one among the languages in the world which is globally applicable and intelligible to them. The advantage number three is that English is supposed in India as the lingua franca, and you must have the better conceptual clarity about what lingua franca means to be. English is supposed as lingua franca in the sense that it provides you with the least opportunity to bridge the gap, especially in relation to the communication. And we as the Indian must have to necessarily foreground the priceless importance of learning English, because before as well as after our national liberation or national independence, we find out the linguistic problems. This is largely because of the linguistic diversity in our country, and this is being found to be existing historically. So once you know how to speak, write, and listen to this particular language, I think you can necessarily ensure the removal of the language problem within the context of the cosmopolitan and multicultural, multilingual country like India. And the fourth advantage you can have after learning English language is that in India, the English medium schools of increasing day by day, and this is largely because of its growing importance. So once you have the better hold of this language, you can remain a step ahead of other competitors as well as challenges of your of your classmate. That's exactly why you must have to keep on learning something special with better structural and conceptual precision. It has simply become the major language of academic communication as well as administration in some institutions of global importance. Therefore, it's the lead language of teaching and learning in many institutions, from school to university inclusive. And the advantage number fifth is that a large number of people in our country are found to be suffering terribly from the inferiority complex, which actually emerges out of their failure and utter disaster, especially at the critical moment of speaking in this language. Once a boy or a girl or a student does have better faculty to communicate his or her ideas to other people or the teachers in the classroom with better fluency in this particular language, I think he can accelerate his confidence level, and naturally the confidence level grows up and he can keep on performing with better and noticeable excellence. That's exactly why you must have to put the stress on learning and speaking in this language with better precision. And the sixth advantage is that English plays an important role in crucial job interviews. One can leave a stunning impression on the mind of the panel member, especially by the dint of responding to their questions in this language. And thus you can optimize the opportunity of being selected, especially by the dint of responding to the questions in the global language. And advantage number seven is that you can have the opportunity or you can optimize the opportunity of learning English language, especially by performing with excellence, especially at the critical moment of the interviews. In majority number of the job interviews, it's found that the questions are asked in English language, and you can better interact with them once you know how to speak confidently in English. Another important advantage of learning and speaking English is that you can naturally accelerate the possibility of being selected in different evaluation process, especially by having the ability to speak with fluency in this language. The advantage of learning English is not confined to the particularity of getting it applied specially to the subject like English. Instead, you can make the optimum use of learning this particular language. By the time you can speak English with better fluency, it actually provides you with ample opportunity in multiple domains or professions as well as your academic careers. There must be a large number of other significant advantages of learning English, and the last but not the least advantage of learning English is that English is being given nowadays in India the greater importance in different highly challenging and prestigious examinations like UPSC in India. So we have to learn English not as the language of the Sahib, but as the language which is being given progressively increasing importance within and beyond our country. So at the end of this short-term analysis on the importance of learning and speaking in English, I must offer innumerable sincere thanks to all the listeners, viewers and audience for watching this particular module in term of the video. And kindly you must have to necessarily subscribe this academically purposive channel to have further videos on different issues, especially on the subject of English language learning as well as speaking.